The latest chapter, 1167, deepens the aura surrounding the Holy Knights and the authority they serve have. The chapter never directly implies that anything has been stolen from Imu, but it paints a clear image of how tightly guarded the highest secrets of the world are, and how catastrophic it would be if anyone ever dared to breach that sanctity. This atmosphere opens the door to a compelling possibility that Shanks, in the future, could be the one bold enough to attempt such an act. This theory explores how that path might form, connecting Shanks, Shamrock, Harald, and the hidden god fruit sleeping within Mary Geoise. The story of Harald provides the emotional and political spine of this possibility. According to what we know, Harald could have been serving the world government as a form of atonement for what he believed were 1,000 years of giant sins. The elders in Imu, in their cold precision, are exploited this guilt to bind him into loyal servitude as a slave. This aligns with older whispers that Harald spent years attacking pirate ships in fog-drenched waters of Florian Triangle, becoming a terror of the seas, though he was never the monster of the Florian Triangle itself. Some legends go even further, suggesting that the enormous shadows seen in the triangle might not be illusions at all, but remnants of an ancient giant army. If so, they might even be connected to the frozen giants of Punk Hazard, perhaps another army created in the Void Century. If this is true, then whoever releases these dormant giants in the future could gain a level of power the world is utterly unprepared for. Such pieces of lore subtly reinforce the larger thematic idea. Giants, guilt, forgotten armies, and ancient power all swirl around Harald's story in a way that makes him critical to any future upheaval. Harald's rise within the world government supports this interpretation. 5 years after the God Valley incident, he was being promoted by the 5 elders and given the title Devoted Blade of God, a role placed directly beneath the Knights of God. This also leads to speculate how he could have died. He may have received a tattoo marking him as one of God's chosen soldier. We also learn about the 3 layers of contact with God, a surface note, a deep sea note, and the deepest sea note. These are all note to God, which is obviously Imu. But doctrine of those notes itself, he never fully understood or not even interested to understand what he was about to have. Since Elders was using his dream of seeing Elbaf accepted into the world government as leverage, manipulating him with promises they never intended to keep. Within this same structure, we know that 13 individuals are allowed to make the sacred vow to God, the 5 elders and the 8 god knights. Their fighting power has been underestimated for years, yet many now believe their ranks might include warriors who could reach the heights of Yonko-level combatants. Figures like Shanks, Shamrock, and Harald, if they ever stood on the same stage, would shift the balance of the world. Against this backdrop, Shanks' story takes on new dimension. He was discovered in a chest during the God Valley incident and raised entirely by Roger's crew, free from any knowledge of noble lineage. Roger treated him as nothing more than a child of the sea. Even without reaching Laugh Tale, Shanks must have heard Roger's crew discuss Joy Boy, Nika, the Void Century, and perhaps even the existence of an unseen sovereign behind the celestial dragons. These fragments might have sparked questions he never voiced, questions that only intensified after Roger's execution. Instead of disappearing from the world, Shanks begun forming the Red Hair Pirates while quietly contemplating the mysteries of Mary Geoise and Imu's invisible rule. At some point, he must have learned the truth about his birth and decided to find mysteries of Holy Land. This brings us back to Harald's earlier years. Before rising to the Holy Knight's orbit, Harald supposedly patrolled the seas in search of pirates, especially in the eerie fog corridors of the Florian Triangle. It is entirely possible that he encountered a young Shanks during one of these hunts. They may have fought briefly, until Shanks, maintaining a calculated facade, dismissed Harald as a mere commoner while claiming the air of a noble. Well, that arrogance, manipulation, or a tactic of Shanks was to protect his own secret, it's very clear. But the moment could have scarred Harald deeply. Years later, he must have been shocked to see that same pirate walking confidently inside the Holy Knight's temple in Mary Geoise. The recognition was hitting him constantly, the red-haired pirate he could have encountered some time ago. Shanks' presence there might only make sense if he were crafting a flawless disguise. He claimed he despised pirates, hated commoners, and wished to reclaim a noble heritage. He may even have expressed eagerness to join the Holy Knights themselves. With his unknown bloodline, the elders might have welcomed him. Harald, despite his suspicions, might have been unable to act against someone treated as a potential aristocrat. During such an infiltration, Shanks could one day uncover the truth about the Hito Hito no Mi, model Nika, that it is hidden deep within Mary Geoise, perhaps behind the 3 layers of chambers accessible only to those who have sworn a vow to God. The fruit might be guarded by Shamrock, a powerful swordsman and holy knight whose loyalty to Imu could be absolute. If Shanks ever attempts to learn its location or steal it outright, a confrontation with Shamrock seems inevitable. That fight could be sudden, fierce, with Shanks breaking away with only the information he needs. I believe the Nika fruit was kept in Mary Geoise protected by Holy Knight from 800 years, and this explains why since after Joy Boy 800 years, there was no one revealed yet who could have eaten this fruit. But Shanks broke the cycle, and Shanks could be the mere reason why Nika exits today after 800 years. Shanks will act for sure. He might bring his entire pirate crew into the Holy Land. A future infiltration of Mary Geoise would be unprecedented, something the world would never imagine. If such a day ever comes, the world government would almost certainly hide the truth, perhaps insisting the fruit was moved, lost, or never existed at all. Harald, driven by old guilt and older memories, could attempt to stop Shanks, realizing too late the magnitude of what is unfolding around him. We all know that if it is around the same timeline when Luffy is supposed to be Kid, and if Mary Geoise really had Hito Hito no Mi, we all know Shanks succeeds in stealing the Nika fruit from Mary Geoise itself, and he will retreat to the East Blue, the calmest sea, the last place anyone would think to search. It is there that fate could intervene again. Luffy, through accident or destiny, eats the fruit. Some might say the fruit chose him, recognizing in the child the same spark Shanks saw the moment he met him. In the end, this theory imagines Shanks as a man standing between 2 worlds, a pirate who had one day infiltrated the highest sanctum of Imu's rule, deceive the most powerful beings alive, and steal the one thing the world government cannot afford to lose. Harald's guilt, Shamrock's duty, and Shanks' mysterious lineage could all converge in a future moment that reshapes history. And the fruit that Shanks might one day take from Mary Geoise would not be meant for himself, but for the boy destined to carry Joy Boy's will into the next era.